Dignitas comes in as the heavy favorites, but we always like a good little story here in the Rocket League Championship Series. And right now, Ninjas in Pajamas can give us a good one.
Such an important match. NIP season very much on the line here. At least they're outside of Last Chance Qual season. Dignitas, meanwhile, are trying to maintain that impressive form, incredibly impressive world-class tier they showed the last event. Game 1 brought to you by Progressive starts now. CJ, you've been called out there. Did your prediction change after you got smoked in the schnoz by a football?
I believe that my frame of mind is not quite intact at the moment. Maybe I'm just a believer, though, in the NIP, JB. Maybe I'm just a believer in the dream.
Hey!
Oh, maybe Jorius will just put a stop to that real quick. Dig 15 seconds in. 1-0, Jorius 1v3.
What a shot as well. The last touch past Nast and away from Oski as well. Jory is off his own backboard. An attacking position in modern day Rocket League is the backboard of above your own goal.
Yeah, Jory's already getting his skate. I mean, both teams getting their skates on. It's Hachi with the instant equalizer here. Okay.
Look at that.
That's a response from NIP.
A kickoff strat from NIP as they get that double kickoff with the late arrival on the left side. Big dunk. It's hard to read. Dizzy thought he could get there on the wall. He was mistaken, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, both teams getting their skates on, and I can confirm that mine and JB's shoes will remain on, which is positive for the broadcast. Here we go. This best of 7. Let's see if we get perhaps a closer series than we've had so far today. Although GK really worth testing things against 100%, taking it to game 6. Joris with space. Does he go the fake? He's going to reset actually, kick things off, but. I mean, Dig, they've just looked fantastic, Johnny. Like, the confidence after that regional, taking down KC.
Oh, wow.
Well, if you KC, why don't you do this against anyone? Look at the heat they're bringing.
Jarius with the initial touch to the backboard. After realizing Nas was going to intercept it, he adjusted to block the clear attempt. I mean, incredible on the fly play there by Jarius, who's probably feeling a bit left out this week with Jack and Stizzy winning the 2's Cash Cup that just occurred. Jarius trying to re-announce his return to the team. The victorious 2's Cash Cup team.
Yeah, welcome back. The Grey White, minute 30 gone, and it looks like we've stabilized a little bit. It was absolutely gung-ho for the first 30 seconds of this game, but now we're just seeing Jarius trying to control things. He's certainly looking like the player to impact on the pitch right now. Here is Nas. Controlling proceedings. We kind of called him out on a few podcasts and whatnot, Johnny. Just step up and he's and just giving him the easiest of doubles over the top.
Nas pass 1, pass 2, and look how quickly Oski got on the end of that one. The synergy was on point there for NIP. Oski and Nas, both mechanical masterminds. We all knew what they were capable of when they teamed up together. Haven't seen them reach anywhere near their full potential. This would be a statement win if they can knock Dignitas down. It would also put them on the right side of the bracket, the non-KC side. Well, assuming the KC beat Vitality for the millionth time in a row later on today.
Yeah, that's certainly the side you want to be on if you can avoid KC until the grand final. But I love the way NIP kind of just switch up the pace here. What a pass from Joris. Can Jack find the double? He's actually on the shot instead. There's the follow-up shot blocked by Oski this time. Jack keeping the heat on for Dig, but kind of feels like Dig want to play a really fast brand of Rocket League, and NIP are trying to just make them awkward in there. There's the infield pass. Is he in trouble? Like the 1-2-1. Jack's ready.
There's been some excellent team plays at both ends of the pitch so far. Seems like we've leveled up a little bit here, as you would expect when you go from the lower bracket into the uppers. The top teams who did not lose yesterday in the group stage. Oh, it's so close. Nas just escaping the back. The bump at the backfield, which would have left the net pretty open. 2 minutes to go. Dignitas are using mind games, drive challenges, bumps, whatever they can, and double taps from Stizzy. The Spaniard has arrived, and it's a tie game.
This is just ridiculous. He just finds a space in the midfield. He can see 2 members of NIP looking to back up, and Stizzy just sees the free backboard. How quick did he snipe on that chance? And that is what we're expecting from this Dig lineup. They are just so consistent of late.
They really are. They're just composed as well. After a rocky start to the split that had them scraping into top 4 and not looking as confident as they were at the start of the season. They have found form at the perfect time. Now, how open is this? Jack, midfield, cut off well by Nas. Did well not to panic there. Read Jack's intentions pretty early.
Yeah, Jack just probably telegraphed that a little bit too much. The shot could have been the option, but very well read. Still keeping NIP in this game. 2-2, 90 seconds. See Nas off the corner. Jack's going to go up. Jorius looks to pop it down to Stizzy. Let's get the redirect, but Oski's able to just pop it back to Nas. See NIP really struggling to keep any offensive pressure, and the swooping dig formation coming through, really keeping that pace. Oh. Jack's actually waiting downfield. There's a redirect. Nas underneath, low boost. It's awkward for NIP. They're just getting a car body in the way when they need to, even with the bumps coming in.
This is swarming pressure from Dignitas. Jorius to the backboard. Itachi just trying to get something onto it. It does go into the back corner safely. The Stizzy's there. The Dignitas are really doing a good job of letting the ball go through to teammates who are in better positions. They're not snatching at the ball when it's already half past them. They're just leaving it for second man, leaving it for third man. The same can't be said on that play by Oski, who just popped it past his teammate.
Yeah, it was just a completely unnecessary double commit there from NIP. Wasn't really a threatening situation.
Oh, wait a minute.
He's made a big mistake, and he somehow makes up for it. It pitches off the crossbar. Itachi, follow-up double, almost finds the top corner. NIP, can they pounce on this late? That was a rare mistake defensively there. Dig almost caught themselves in trouble. Maybe they do down the other end. Jorius finds the fade. 10 seconds left. Can they create some magic? Both teams with chances, but it feels like we deserve an overtime. Oh! Top corner, 3 on the clock.
Jorius just leaves it, dangles it in an awkward place that Oski couldn't do anything with. Stizzy first on the scene. What a shot. 3 seconds to go. And it's NIP who need to get this ball up in the air.
Well, it's kept it up, and Itachi's got a chance. He's thrown it across. Is anyone there? Just the great white. First game to Dignitas, and could have, but NIP are still, I think this is a problem, Johnny, because it's like NIP look good, like they still look fine, but I feel like we've said this for the whole season now.
Yeah, it has really been the story of their season, where they look like they're still at a similar level to the top teams in Europe, but when you come 6th place every time, when you're on the outside looking in, are you really at that level? And Dignitas, I've got Oski looking to the sky for an answer right now, and they can't find one. It's too fast. Clinical by Dig.
Yeah, I think Jorius might be the best first 15-second player in Rocket League right now. He's just going as supersonic right off the bat. Jack able to find the first goal on this occasion, but Dig, you feel like they've got more and more levels here to step up to, as we saw in Open 5. 50 comes through. In the midfield, Stizzy looking to take the low 50. Oski underneath. Oski's been a little bit quieter than we'd expect, Johnny. When you kind of look back to the Atto-Oski duo that we couldn't really split, haven't quite seen his mechanics shine so far this split.
Yeah, it's been just not quite there, and it's never been there in this matchup, especially. Dignitas winning the only 3 meetings that the two teams have had. 4-2, 4-2, 3-1. They've never got to game 5, never got to game 7. Have NIP against Dig. And that was even when Dignitas were fighting for 3rd, 4th, 5th, never mind being defending regional champions. It's upper bracket though. This is the good news for NIP. No panic just yet. And even if they do go down to the lower bracket, they'll be up against one of their biggest rivals, so they can themselves eliminate the competition, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, all the stats, all the history against NIP, which for me just seemed like the perfect time to predict them. I just think that's how Rocket League works sometimes. But right now, Dig are certainly proving me wrong once again. Pretty much the T-baits of Europe at this point. It's pretty embarrassing, but we move on. Minute 40 gone. Here's another bump attempt from Jack. Oski does really well to dodge it. You can see here that NIP are really looking to play more of a defensive style, that I don't know if this is going to work against Dig. They're kind of just swooping in, taking all their boost, and it feels like a matter of time before Dig break through.
You know, I don't think we've talked enough yet about Itachi and his, abandoning of the Roadhog as well. Like, this for me is just karma, that their game 1 result at least
Yeah.
I know you're a fan of the Fennec.
I'm all over the Fennec.
Most people probably are at this point, but I was hoping he'd finish what he started. I thought he started something pretty special, the Roadhog. He could always bring it back. He could always switch back to the Roadhog if this continues to go downhill. Oh, that's a good chance though. Itachi can't put it on target. Orange trail wide. Can he put this one on target? Yes, he can. It was already in. And now it is tie game 1-1.
I wasn't here though when you're talking about that's the power of the Fennec. That is the power of the Fennec. Itachi, major champ on that car. Forget about the hog. You can pull it out if it's just, you know, if it's dire. You know, if the situation's desperate, then you go for it. You're down 3-0. You need to create something. But the Fennec, just you just want to just play what you know. You know, we spoke about it. I spoke about it with Garrett. I think if you're his teammate, you're thinking, come on, the gig's up. Like, let's just get back on the Fennec.
That's exactly what he is. But they need more. Dignitas have been consistent so far this match. Oh, Jarius pulls out the double tap from the back corner. Where did that one come from? It looked like a pretty tough position to be scoring from, because it is. And he just smokes it over to Itachi's head.
The placement on that double was absurd, and the fact that he's done a manual 360 no air roll double that I think completely caught NIP. I don't think they thought he had a shot on there, let alone a top bins-esque shot off the crossbar down. That is magic. The grey white is certainly being the catalyst for this team so far. For Dig, there's a delayed flick. It always looked like it was going to go high when he ripped it, but yeah, Joris is playing insane Rocket League right now.
He really is. Shari is, for most of his career, is managing Pro Rocket League alongside Skull, and you know, we always wondered how good he could be if he just gave it his all, and this is the answer. But oh, good play by Itachi again. Perfect arrival. Dignitas looked like they were going to survive here. Joria's got it up in the air. Jack closed down the next shot, but Stizzy could not match Itachi with the third one.
That's twice they've pretty much just brute forced their way through the defense and eventually left no soldier to man the net. Another open net, and it's for Itachi again. He's able to find his second. Trying to avoid all the Roadhog abuse that he's been copying. And he's looking pretty good at the moment. 2-2. There's a nice fake here from Nas. He's run out of boost, but he's got a good 50 in store. This is where you want to see NIP put forward, though. Nas with a chance. It's a great pass, but Oski was on his back foot. They might be overcommitting now for this attack.
Yeah, they look like they might be. I don't think Oski was ready for that one. It was a great pass. It was a good spot, and Oski was just able to generate a tiny bit more momentum on his takeoff. He would have been able to score that. Joria is time to turn. Options ahead of him. He just bangs it. It looks like Oski was expecting an air dribble because he pre-jumped nothing, and then Jorius follows up his own hard clear with a goal. Look at that right there. Oski just had to bail out off a pre-jump because he expected Jorius to air dribble that one, and it was just a hard clear.
Yeah, he bailed the pre-jump, but then Jack swept through for the demo, so he was late to get to the wall. Means he wished that touch.
Yeah.
I don't think his teammates expected it. Then you get a free shot on net, and it was a classy shot. This is what Dig do. They're just clinical. They get these half chances. We saw Joris before. This time, let's see again. Joris with his second, and they're just sniping the net. And here he is again. Dealing with the free double. This time for Stizzy, who doesn't find the top corner. A rare miss on that occasion, but they might just be doing enough, and that pretty much sums up Dignitas, but also sums up NIP. They're just doing enough. They're finding the bumps, finding the space, dropping it down in front of net. 10 seconds left. They're about to go 2-0.
Oh, that was just so smart by Jack moments ago, slowing the game down, giving Jorius and Stizzy chances to recover. Just taking away any volatility from the position. Now Jorius cuts off the mid pass. Stizzy and Jack are both up for this, but Stizzy's got control of it. And into the ground it goes as Dignitas take a commanding 2-0 lead. Really want to see from NIP in this game is trust. I don't want to see any more flat-footed, you know, players waiting mid for a pass that does actually arrive, and then they're not ready for it. You know, they've got to be ready for that. They've got to be on the same page with the passing plays. Joria's sidewall double goes into the near post. Looks like we had multiple defenders back for NIP anyway. And NIP have got to trust each other, and they've got to, you know, do it in defense as well, where Dignitas have really been causing the problems.
On Joris with the best pass to Jack you'll ever see. This is the difference. They're all together. As you said, when they attack, they're right there for each other. That's the chemistry. Jack just puts himself back post, knows where Joris is getting it. 23 seconds, and for the third game in a row, they found a goal right off the bat.
I love that offensive formation for Dig with the back post second man. And then Stizzy just at the halfway line waiting, covering everything else. Stizzy's nearly got a second one there. Stizzy with the rapid near post double tap. And Jorius has been unstoppable today. Just unplayable whenever he's on the ball. The mechanics, the flair, the creativity, and the team plays that Dignitas have been more and more known for as of late.
I'd love to see the stats, but just on the eye test here, JB, the NIP just feel really slow and sluggish compared to Dignitas, who are pretty much just going for it through the attack through the midfield, and that's why their follows are so much faster. This midfield game is just being completely dominated by Dig, and these missed touches are coming through. Stizzy finds the bump on Itachi. They capitalize on the mistake, and they make it 2-0.
And even the mistakes, even the misses are working out. And it might have been intentional there with the sidewall double there for Jorius to miss it. Just let the ball bounce into the middle. And they're turning everything. They get outplayed, they turn it into a bump. They get beat into the ball, they're turning it into a passing option. Dignitas with on-the-fly adaptation. It's just levels above NIP.
And you sort of point out as well, that was a pretty poor touch there from Nas coming out of net defensively. But this is what Dig do, that when you play so fast, when you know that the offense is going to be this quick against you, you panic. You think you've got less time than you perhaps realise. And in the end, Nas has made a bit of an error there. This is a nice chance, but the demo just removes any offense whatsoever. NIP are all the way back in net, and Jack is just pirouetting above the crossbar. Dig, as you said, the system is just completely dominating NIP's structure.
And all of these cuts to rotation, just denying NIP any access to the midfield right now. And look at the focus from Dig. They're not rushing the offense. They're just making effective touches, putting the ball in awkward positions. And what can NIP do with their first half chance? Not much. Oski Boostar just trying desperately to get his neck up for that one. His neck wasn't long enough.
It's a 2-up, 1-back style of attack, but it feels like the reinforcements for NIP are so slow. There's just these little mistakes, and look at these windows. Stizzy has found the redirect. It's probably going to be too high for the follow, but even there, Jack, you mentioned the patience in offense. He bails on the attack, grabs their boost. He's looking for the long game there. Really disciplined at the moment. But he give credit to Violent Panda, their coach, because this is the best we've seen Dig, and they're getting even better from that last open win.
Yeah, they really are. They continue to impress. And NIP do not have an answer. Stizzy, 50s at mid for himself. He's just gone through everyone for 3-0.
It's just another mistake. It's Nash handing the ball straight to Stizzy, and we mentioned the brute force from NIP. Well, Stizzy's just 1v3'd with pure staunch. He just ran it through both of them in net. I don't know how he's outmuscled them and found the goal, but 3-0, and it's one-way traffic.
It's just a ridiculous 50-50 by Stizzy to catch it all in one motion and then flick it without taking a moment to breathe or steady himself. It could be 4. Jorius bangs it in.
This is a complete lack of nonsense on this offense. I mean, what are we witnessing? It's the perfect pitch. Jorius cutting across from third man. Front post, bang, right off the corner. I mean, you're not stopping this team.
This is unreal. I mean, Dignitas, they're slaughtering NIP. Every single attack looks deadly. And NIP, I think it's time to bring out the Roadhog, the Batmobile. Like we need to change the camera settings. Maybe start using an Xbox controller. Like everything needs to change here because nothing's working against this big lineup.
So poor Itachi's he's taken a 50 that's pinched across to the halfway line. No big deal. And then Joris puts a 152 km/h bottom right corner shot on your net. They're just so clinical. There's another bump coming through. Itachi has to stretch. They're trying to link up. They found a way out, but first man on the scene is Joris, who's whiffed with a shot to whiff as well, and they've counterattacked. Jack has not left their net. He's happy with the boys doing down the other end. They're still making mistakes though when they do get punished.
Oh, that's a little bit, a glimmer of hope maybe for NIP as they get one off the back of Itachi's bump. I've had a chance to talk about this, the lingering upfield presence that has been apparently Jack recently, and he's making it a part of his game very intentionally. He's staying up, trusting his teammates to defend 2v2 positions when it looks comfortable, when they've got boost, when they've got an easy access to the play. Oh, hang on, Nas. Oh, that's a screamer! It's 4-2!
Well, he's given them a little bit of life with probably the goal of the series here. There's the reset. He's a 1v3. Found the double, found the tight angle. Unfortunately, I still think it's too little too late for the boys. 49 seconds. Still time, but I think they've started their run just a smidge too late. You've given up 4 goals already.
Yeah, and a big clear coming through from Stizzy. Joyous is on the ceiling. He's just shadowing this play the whole way. Just perfectly blocking the easiest angle of attack. And now Jack forces high. Stizzy's there. Look at Nast again. Oh, again, what a better ball that is. It was a great try, but no goal for Nast or for NIP there.
Where's this been? Where has this been in the last 2.5 games? Nast has woken up and he's creating some ridiculous offense. Itachi goes low, finds the 50. Here is Nast. Magic has to happen right now and quick. 7 seconds, need a goal to at least create a 0-second chance.
Oh.
And they've given themselves perhaps a sniff.
Itachi with a pre-jump. Nas lobs it up to from the ceiling shot. And they're within 4 seconds to go. These are some unreal goals from NIP, but they need one more.
These are 2 of the best goals to close the lead to 1. The kickoff is up. Nas will get 1 chance. He's got 0 boost. He flicks it across. Nobody there. Oski first on the scene. Off the bar, off the corner. Throws the infield. Stizzy reads it. And that was 2 of the best goals.
If they can, and the loser of KC Vitality beats GK, that's guaranteed tiebreaker between GK and Gentlemates. Assuming NIP don't win the entire event, which I think right now is looking likely. This event is going to be one of the hardest to win with Dig, KC in the form that they're in.
Yeah, I think the form that Gentlemates are in as well. It's going to be tough in the lower bracket. They looked the best I've seen them in terms of all 3 performing, but can NIP at least just get their first win on the board? And as I said, I want to see them play with that aggression early on, rather than when they're 4 goals down. Here is Stizzy with the carry. Finds the target. This is trouble for NIP. Apparently, Jack's looking for the delayed shot. Nas covering. Oski up with low boost, just forces it downfield. And this is better from NIP. We're seeing more attack.
Yeah, we wanted to see them trust each other, and they have. Once it was all, well, pretty much too far gone in the last game, but the trust was there for Itachi to pre-jump on the pass from Nas. That's the kind of play that they need to have on lock every time, not necessarily the pre-jump, but the trust that the pass is going to come through. You can't let those chances go astray at this level.
There's more demos coming through there as well from apparently Jack. You mentioned his, I guess, a little change up in his play style, sitting downfield, being confident, and that confidence is really shining at the moment. He doesn't quite land on this one, but Joris cuts across to find 2. A touchy downfield to Nas. If you can find the flicks, Dizzy. It's such a safe touch into the corner. And spell the end of the NIP attack for now. 50 comes through. Nas still with more aggression. Finds one more. Stizzy with a 50. Itachi underneath. Completely gets dunked. It's just going to be Oski last, but Jack not able to find it. Both teams still trying to break the deadlock.
Stizzy's challenges have been top drawer for Dignitas. Really stifling NIP's offensive pressure. That's not ideal now for NIP, but for once Dignitas do not have the mid option available to them. Stizzy, oh, he's too quick, almost gets a goal that he's created himself. The amount of stealth passes Stizzy's had in the past couple of games, really something to behold.
I'd love to see a heat map of apparently Jack's positioning. It feels like he is just sitting outside the box and not moving. NIP certainly having to worry about him every time the ball's down this end, but here's Joris just looking to keep the ball in, looking to keep NIP pinned. You can see Oski low boost creates chances. Great save from Itachi, but still not out of trouble here. Joris will find the opening. He'll find the open net, and he'll put a bar down for style points.
They just kept the ball moving. They kept it in the air. And that, right there, that entire sequence pretty well illustrates why offense it tends to win in Rocket League. The defense, so tied up in a knot, hard to generate momentum, hard to cover all angles, and it was just free-flowing offense the other ways, creating chances, putting shots into the goal area, and eventually scoring.
Felt like they nearly put NIP to sleep then in defense. They just kind of got stuck into we're just in a defensive cycle now we'll never get out of, and then suddenly they strike. They pick up the pace. They find the extra pass. Glorious snipes the shot. There's a few misplays coming through. You can see Itachi. He's really struggled with boost and struggled with dodging these demos downfield. Nas has been the difference for NIP. That time, Glorious up for the save.
Yeah, NIP just trying to stabilize. They know that they've got the playmaking. They know they've got the goal-scoring ability today. There's another pre-jump. It's Oski this time, but the defense have also pre-jumped to counter. They need to avoid giving Dig another goal in the process, though. With this much time left, they're going to get a chance. They're going to get an opportunity. But if you concede again, well, it gets twice as hard, doesn't it? So you can't be doing that.
Jax just got 0 boost. They've found their corner 100, but NIP, even that pre-jump there, it didn't come off, Johnny, but it just creates chaos. It creates movement, and I think that's what they need. It's not always going to work out, but right now they're trying to create these perfect plays. Sometimes you've just got to get messy. You've got to get chaotic. You've got to take a leaf out of apparently Jack's book, and they are bringing the heat, but it seems to only happen when they're down, when there's a minute left, when there's no time left. The crowd pitch is simply outstanding. Jack finds demos and clears the path. Jorius does the rest.
Jorius saw the opening and sniped it without a second invitation. But as you were talking about it, Jack again, upfield, chasing down defenders, landing demos and bumps, just being a real menace. And NIP have not had an answer for that aspect or several other things that Digger did today. Oh, hold on a second though. Oski's reset the ball past 2. How's he managed to do that? It looked like Dig had enough bodies back, but against Oski's ceiling double reset, you're going to need to do better.
Yeah, that's a top play of the day right there. NIP might be the best team in the world when they're losing. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean you're going to be winning. I don't know what's happening, but they just play with freedom when they're down, when they need to, when they have to. Oski again with a double this time. Doesn't find the net. Still pressure on. Itachi's looking to keep the heat right now. Dignitas is under a little bit of trouble for the moment. But still, it's now only 35 seconds. They're running out of time, but we're seeing the magic.
They're becoming a mythical Rocket League team. NIP down by multiple goals have been the best team today. Unfortunately, it starts too late. I think they need to concede as fast as possible if they're going to try and make this play style work.
Well, they were doing that. It still doesn't help because they're 4-0 down. It's final minutes NIP only, but they're always losing when they get here. 8 seconds left. Are we going to see a 4-0 for Dig? Are these guys just the new best team in Europe? Can they go back to back? Right now, there's nothing to say no because Jorius calls game and Dig make it the quickest series of the day, sending NIP to lowers.